Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy. We're going to talk about vulnerability. So, my spirit team reminded me that vulnerability isn't something that you should shy away from, that you should actually do your best to embrace. Because when you are vulnerable, first with yourself, because then it makes it easier to be vulnerable with another or a situation or a circumstance. So if you would like to feel what being vulnerable, truly vulnerable, feels like, how it reacts or responds within your framework, then by all means go to the mirror and pick something when you're all alone, because you don't want to really have an audience, yet you're just stepping into this vulnerability thing and you don't want to get dissuaded or pushed off because of free will and other people, okay? So be alone and go to the mirror and pick something that's hidden within you, a tender spot that it's right back there, and it's there, and you've piled all kinds of stuff on top of it to try to tamp it down so that it doesn't keep coming into the forefront of your mind, right? Start with that. And although that's a really dangerous place to be for some people who may be um, stuck in the illusion that they could get lost within that emotion. But when you allow your brain to think logically and work in conjunction with your emotions, then there'll be an even give and take where your rational brain will make excuses, allowances for how your emotional side feels regarding that subject. Now, to be in the vulnerable position, it's kind of letting your guard down in both places. And sometimes that brings you to tears. And that's okay, because that's your body's way of purging an emotion or something that has you chokeholded, where you don't want to make the wrong move, so you don't make any move. And that's just dragging you down further. So when you drop to your knees and you're crying and you're releasing all of those tied up, suppressed emotions, check in with your rational self just a little bit and see if you can't understand where the value lays in the lesson that was harmful, maybe you thought to yourself. Because as soon as you can find the value, then that situation is no longer harmful and it no longer has a chokehold on you. And then you could see where your brain and your emotions are going to start evening out, because your emotional side is going to realize that that wasn't as detrimental as what your mind said it was going to be. And you have then understood why, how it feels to be vulnerable. Then you have the opportunity to take that forward into your reality, into other people's lives. So it will give you an ability to have more faith, more courage, and more control when you're dealing with another person or a situation. And vulnerability is something that needs to be shown, shared, presented, whether it be on your side, their side, or both sides. Because every emotion could be contagious if you dwell on it or encompass it for way too long, then that becomes you, or what you perceive you are. And then that's what other people see. So then they see someone who has decided to paint a different face, a different picture of where they actually are. I did that. I went into the shadows for a long time because I wasn't ready to be vulnerable, because being vulnerable meant that I had to unpack all of those pains and hurts, and I had to straighten them out, understand where the value was, and then accept the value and encompass that within my forward motion. And it was an adventure, and not all of it was a good adventure. And I'm quite positive that if you painted a different illusion so that you didn't have to be vulnerable with yourself or with another person, that could be a place where you might feel comfortable. I did. I knew that I didn't belong there. Maybe you even know you don't belong there, but maybe you feel comfortable. Maybe because it feels safe. But the safest place for you to be, the safest place I found to be, is being vulnerable with me and you. So, at least you know that what I speak and how I feel are aligned, because my vulnerability shows through when it needs to shine, when I need to provide clarity either to myself or to another. And sometimes that's in a place of vulnerability, because when you dig down inside, those are parts of you that you try to hide. So there's a reason that you did that, and it's like a sore spot, like a tender spot. But until you could not toughen it up, but until you can understand why, where, when, or how, right? And all of that ties into the value that each situation can provide. And sometimes there's lots of values inside of one situation. And sometimes you need to be able to pick out value in every different aspect and then weave it all together, because that tells a story as well. It also tells a story of your strength and your stamina. And it paints a brand new picture where vulnerability, love, light, positivity, acceptance, forgiveness, right? Letting go of what doesn't serve you, walking blindly in the path that you always were meant to be. It's not so much a relay, but one does happen after the other, because you can't jump to the top without going through your steps. And I know this. I'm doing this right now. My life is one big, huge learning lesson, good, bad, and indifferent. And it also comes with trials, tribulations, and it comes with accomplishments and joys. And it comes with understanding that your road is ever evolving. And you always have, in divine time, at the right time, the perfect opportunity to perfect, readjust, and evolve into the best version of you. And sometimes it all starts with vulnerability. So, wherever you might be on your journey, I can't wait to hear. So drop me a line and let me know, because I am always very blessed whenever I get to understand and see the evolution in another soul, because that's positive, that's high vibrational, and that too is contagious. So let's all be contagious on a high positive vibe, and let's send everybody light, love, possibility, and positivity in every single form. My lovely collective, You have a very good day, no matter what it is you do today. I'm always sending you positivity and encouragement. You have a blessed day. I love you.